Well, guys, I just quit my job. That's it. Today was the last day. I've been teasing some major changes for the channel, major changes in life in general over the last couple of months, and today's one of the big moves that was about to come. I put my notice in, my notice of resignation to my employer a few weeks ago, and today was the last day. I'm done. I'm out. We're moving on. Gotta admit, it's a little bit scary. It's a little bit of a risk, but I hope that this affords me the opportunity to do some of the things that I wasn't able to do before. So I guess we'll see. In any case, this day is as good as any other day to let you know about what some of those things are that are going on and kind of give you some updates about what's up for the channel and what's to come. So let me just preface all of this by saying, please don't click off of this video no matter what happens, no matter what you hear, no matter how it makes you feel. Don't leave, because I have some updates and some information and some insights that I think you're going to like and be happy about. So have no fear. We'll bring it back around. We'll bring it back around. I know most of you clicked on this video probably because you're more interested in knowing what's going on with some of the vehicles on this channel. So I'm going to tell you today. We'll keep it short and sweet. But as you know, we got the 2021 Nissan Titan Pro 4X. It's been a great truck so far. Really enjoying it, and I got a lot of plans for it. So that's going to be part of this channel going forward for the foreseeable future. Anyway, we traded my wife's Ford Explorer Sport for that Nissan Titan. The Explorer was a great vehicle. We had it for a few years, and I mean, it was really impressive, really capable, and pretty versatile. But it came to a point to where we needed to do some things with our dogs, for example, and some of the plans that we have going forward that an SUV just really didn't make sense for. So the next logical step was to trade that in for a truck, and the Nissan Titan was a logical choice. Of course, being part of the Nissan and Infiniti community and having a relationship already established with Z1 Motorsports, it just made sense in terms of content to stick in the Nissan family. Not to mention the Nissan Titan is super underrated and is, in my opinion, way more truck for the money compared to the big three out there. So you can fight me on that if you want, but you'd be wrong. Now, I know you're super worried about it, but we still have the Acura MDX. We're gonna hold on to it. It's a good car. Don't have a whole lot of money into it. And it's a higher mile vehicle, but I think it's a great vehicle to have as a backup. And of course, my daughter drives it. So Acura MDX, have no fear, still here. The Corvette. A lot of people have been asking me about the Corvette lately, and you know, I gotta say, I love that C6, 6-speed manual transmission, lots of torque, lots of power. LS3 sounds really good. It's really a hard car to beat, but I sold it. I did sell the Corvette a couple of weeks back, and it was a decision that was based solely on the fact that we have some pretty specific goals in mind for the family personally, but also goals for the channel as well. And it just made sense to get rid of the Corvette, and it doesn't hurt that a dealership in Georgia offered me a pretty sweet deal on it. I have to say, though, the real reason was because I got a Corvette because I intended to do sort of the full naturally aspirated build, right, or project. You know, do some stuff with the interior and wheels and tires and suspension, and just kind of have a dual purpose street track car. And the more I started cleaning up that C6 Grand Sport and, you know, digging into some things, it just was really too clean to cut up. Relatively low miles, ran super good, sounds good, everything was healthy on it, put some new tires on it, and really the car just didn't need much more than that. And I felt bad tearing into a car that was in such good shape. So once I kind of determined that, I just lost motivation to do anything to it, and that doesn't make for good content. Say that they jump into a Corvette because of a midlife crisis, and that very well could be for a vast majority of people out there, but I didn't see it as sort of a midlife crisis thing where I was just gonna putz around town or take it to and from work and cruise on the weekends and things like that. I wasn't into that. I wanted a nice lopey, choppy cam, and I wanted to beat the hell out of it, and the car was just too nice to do it, so I just had to get rid of it. As you can see, of course, the 350Z is still here. I still have some parts to put on the car. I still have some things that I want to do with the car, and I still want to get out and rip the tail of the Dragon before it gets too cold. So I do have plans for the 350Z, but I gotta say, as of lately, I've sort of been contemplating selling this car as well. You know, there's a saying out there that if you look at something and it doesn't bring you joy, it's time to move on. And although I really do like driving the thing, I gotta say it's one of the most nimble, one of the most responsive, fun cars that I've ever driven, quite honestly. The way it's set up, the suspension, the tires, and the Corvo seats, of course, the car is just kind of second to none in terms of how it handles and drives, in my opinion. So there's a lot to be said about this vehicle, but it just, maybe it probably has something to do with the fact that it doesn't have AC and it's been 100 degrees here in South Carolina lately. But it just sits in here. And I'm not really motivated to take it out and drive it. So it might be time to move on to something else. Again, guys, as I said at the beginning of this video, all of this is pushing us toward some new goals. And I actually made a pretty big purchase recently. So there's a lot happening behind the scenes that I hope you guys will stick around for, because it's going to be revealed here sooner than later. So it's not like just, you know, I'm dumping all these cars, right? There's plans in place, and I think ultimately you are going to enjoy what's to come. So please stick around, hold your opinions until the very end. But the car I'm sure you're all wanting to know about is the Q50. Some videos out there that I got a lot of pushback on, saying that now is the time to sell your Q50s. If you're wanting to maximize your return or keep the hit as low as possible because they're still fetching quite a bit of money, you know, it's something I talked about a couple of times. Just a few months ago and about 6 or 8 months ago, I started pushing that idea. I got to tell you that I actually put my money where my mouth was at the time. Not too long ago, I sold the Q50. Just gotta do like one more little pull here. I got offered a deal that was really hard to pass up, to be quite honest. It was very, very close to what I actually paid for that car 4 years ago, 40,000 miles ago. I can say that I basically drove that car almost for free for 4 years and over 40,000 miles. It's hard to beat that. I know this channel was sort of founded around this Q50 platform, and a lot of you are here for Q50 content, but have no fear. I have plans for the future that I think you're going to be interested in. I really want to pick up another Q50. Something that maybe was wrecked, something that we could potentially build into something really special. And that sort of brings me back to my other Q50. I had built that, or I had turned it into something that I really enjoyed. And it was an excellent daily driver that was capable of some spirited driving and a lot of fun on the street. But I really didn't have plans beyond that. A lot of people asked if I wanted to go forced induction, and I really didn't, especially considering that 7-speed automatic transmission and its limitations and the valve body issues popping up and things like that. And I couldn't justify dumping $10,000, $12,000, $15,000 into that car beyond the point that it was already at. It was a really reliable daily driver that I had a lot of fun with, but again, to me, I just couldn't justify the expense for something that I was just driving to and from work. And then considering some of the plans that we have and some of the things that we've put into motion, I just needed to let that thing go. The other thing is that I very quickly run out of space. So that's something else I kind of have to think about. But 3.0T, however, is very intriguing. So a silver lining, however, to this little situation that we're in is that I was able to pull a couple of parts off the Q50 before selling it. And those will probably most likely turn into giveaway parts coming up this winter. So you got to stick around for that. Make sure you're subscribed. And some of the parts may move over to the next Q50 that we pick up for the channel. So I just want to say that my love for the Q50 is still very much alive and well. We're not moving away. We're not moving away from the Q50 necessarily. We're just kind of taking a little bit of a break.
We were on a break!
A little bit of a break to get some of these other plans into motion.
Once a cheater, always a cheater.
Before we dive back into a Q50 project.
Wish we hadn't lost those 4 months.
So the time has come really to invest a little bit more into this channel and build upon what we've already established here.
But if time was what you needed just to gain a little perspective.
And you guys know that I already have like 450 something Q50 related videos on this channel. So the chances are, if you have a question, I've probably made a video about it already. And I'm still getting requests in the comment sections of all of these videos on a regular basis asking for this Q50 video or that Q50 video, or can you tell me about this or that? So just because we don't necessarily have a Q50 in the driveway right now, it doesn't mean we won't still be producing some Q50 content on this channel. And on top of that, we're taking on some new challenges. We're broadening our horizons a little bit. We're jumping into some new projects. So we're still gonna have some new fresh content coming for the channel, and that's exciting to me. And I hope it's exciting to you guys as well. And I hope you guys will all stick around and continue watching, especially as we lead up to purchasing another Q50 for the channel. So I thank you guys very much for watching and supporting this channel up to this point. There's a lot more to come. So hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the little bell notification as well, because you don't want to miss out on what is coming up, especially if we have some giveaways coming up this fall. So thanks again. Appreciate it very much. And we'll see you in the next one, guys.